They'll be calling you a radical. You don't think they're kettling my videos? I'm the guy that invented the term internet kettling by the guy that gets kettled. How about a video that's got 1.1 thousand, 1,100 likes, and 100 views? What? I remember getting an email in the early days of my YouTube site, in the early days of Fukushima, saying Google told me I was in the 1/10 of 1,000th of 1% of retention. They said I was one of the top 10 YouTube sites, not 10%, top 10 YouTube sites in the world on retention. That's what my gig was all about. Now, I mean, if I get 200 views, it's a miracle. But again, the views. So I want to get back to the assassination of ABE. So I've been able to see the video from the back side now, slow down, and it's horrific. I mean, it's fucking unbelievable. I mean, it's hard to watch. I mean, it's really heartbreaking. I mean, watch someone be murdered like that. It's disturbing. But I want people to know, as you know, I have lots and lots and lots of connections inside Japan. ABE was not a loved person inside Japan. You know, of course, China, you know what they think of that family. You know, it's China and Japan. You know how that dynamic has. But, you know, our perspective we get here, the muck spin it, whatever. You know, the whole Fukushima, the whole nuclear energy complex, the whole cover-up of Fukushima, they live it. The State Secrets Act inside Japan, oh, it's very real. Well, it's real here, but... So the story is this. On this, you're talking one of the most controversial, powerful leaders in the modern history, at least post Pearl Harbor. My grandson brought it right up, you know, because we were out in Enola Gay on the 75th anniversary. He started out, now who really did drop the bomb? That's the biggest mass murder ever. You know, when they did that, and I says, well, Oppenheimer said it worked. I says, Jepsen pushed the button. You know, you sat in Tippett's chair, you know. He says, that's the biggest mass murder. And I says, you got it, young man, you know. Who did that? And I says, Oppenheimer was a puppet. Was this kid a puppet? Well, here's what I think. And this is just a theory. This is my theory. I think security let it happen. Look, he said he stalked him for weeks, if not months. Said that, you know, I mean, he was at this. You're talking one of the most powerful Western, and he's Western, do not kid yourself. He's not Eastern, he's a Western leader. One of the most powerful leaders in modern history. Come on. Come on. You saw security. There wasn't any. I mean, he's not carrying around some little concealed freaking Mr. Saturday Night Special. You got a barrel that's so blue and cold you ain't good for nothing. Put man 6 feet and all. He wasn't carrying one of those, was he? He's got this thing. It's wrapped up in tape. Come on. Come on. You know, I understand the violence issue in Japan. Oh, come on. Please. They let it happen. I'm the opposite of a conspiracy theory. I don't do conspiracy. I do what I see. You know, Fukushima is the opposite of conspiracy. Fukushima is the greatest ecological catastrophe. You thought I was a conspiracy theorist because I'm telling the truth because it's that hardcore. The death of ABE, you think he was a loved person inside Japan? You're wrong. You know, I have lots and lots of connections. I'll be with Yoko and Rachel and, you know, Kathy, these people that were inside Japan that was getting all the reports. I'll be in San Diego tomorrow, late tomorrow night. I still need to get a place to stay. I was just talking to Jim where I usually stay there. They're getting $400 a night. I says, that's what I paid a week. Not very long ago. He says, I know. These owners, I'm like, what the fuck? It's unbelievable. I mean, inflation's hit everywhere. Rand Greenspan. Thank you. Let's flood $9 trillion onto the economy. No, I mean, if I got to sleep on the beach, I will. Whatever. But I'll be in the tide pools Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday afternoon, Thursday afternoon, Friday afternoon. We're going to get really good low tide in the afternoon to sunlight hours. Peter went out to Point Loma, got me he got me a full California card so I can go into all the areas. It's outrageous they even charge you. But watching the video of this, and, you know, I'm surprised it's up. I mean, it was on NPR. It's really hard to watch, I do not believe in violence, and I do not believe the answer to a violent, to anything. This is the answer. What's that great? It was a Buddhist, I believe, that coined this. Help me if isn't what's his name who just died? The incredible Buddhist. Didn't he coin this term? An eye for an eye leaves everyone blind. It's one of the great lines in history. Bobby Kennedy. I shook Bobby Kennedy's hand on March 29th, 1968. I got the date wrong before. I remember my mom, my beautiful pinup artist mother, Vargas, used to say she wasn't just draw like camera, she could be her own model. And her pinned up hair and her cotton dress that morning. Because we stayed up and watched the California results that night, her and I. I remember that morning, her Bakelite radio and her crying that morning. And I heard Lynn Allen. He was the greatest, wasn't he? Bobby Kennedy is dead. He gave that famous speech, Bobby did, 6 days after I shook his hand at Weber State University. Violence breeds violence. Watching this is hard. I mean, anybody who's got half a soul and you watch it, what this kid did was wrong. But the Japanese security obviously let it happen. It's obvious to me that, that just a flaw in judgment. Come on. There's a protocol. Even this kid said, even the investigation, Reuters is reporting now that he went 200 miles just a couple days before and couldn't get through because the protocol was so staunch. Now, Rachel used to live in this town, so it's one of the most peaceful towns in the world, and I understand that. But I don't know, because the protocol was definitely not there. I mean, he walked up standing right behind with it. There was no security there. I mean, it was just so random. I mean, the security that was there was just, there wasn't any. There was no perimeter. There was no screening. There was no nothing. When even the killer said that 200 miles away the day before when he was stumping, there was a perimeter. So the story is this. Of course, the Fukushima cover-up, the rest of the world. And of course, Rahm Emanuel's not going to say anything. He was in the situation. Of course, Obama. Of course, Trump. I mean, these are people all in it. He went with Trump in Mar-a-Lago, blacked out the windows of ABE, met with Trump 17 times. For a Japanese PM to come here once. He went to MIT Media Lab. This is the biggest story in the world. Someday we'll be told. Well, Kevin Blanch told it. The story on the assassination of ABE is no security. Did the people of Japan, the hierarchy of Japan, is that who took him out? What's that great old song that the Stones wrote? Who killed the Kennedys? After all, it was you and me. I mean, I don't know, but that's the story. The story is, this is the most lax security of a major global, and everybody knew how controversial he was. I mean, you think this is the first death threat he's ever had? Please, 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 go tell him that in China. So that's what I think. I think, it was probably an inside job. That's just my observation. I mean, and I do not believe in violence. I think I know it is. Since Bobby was killed, Martin Luther King was killed, John K. blown, everything's went backwards. It's not the answer. But why was there no security? There was no security. It's really a heartbreaking story because he knew everything about Fukushima. Everything. And if there could ever be a trial or a tribunal, the star witness is gone. Because that's him. The star witness is dead. So if we ever do have a tribunal on the cover-up of Fukushima, which I consider the greatest crime in human history, is the cover-up. The greatest event in human history, full-blown-out meltdowns? Oh, that's nothing to see. He was not prime minister when it happened. That one was booted. I'm waiting for Nato Khan. I'm going to try to get to him because he's in San Diego, I understand. I've talked to him twice personally. He come right up to me and he bowed to me. Told me thank you. I'm hoping, I talked to him right there at Del Mar. Hoping that he'll make a statement. I haven't seen anything from him yet because he was forced out and he's an anti-nuclear. And, him and Nabi are not what you call friendly. So, it's a major story. Gigantic. Stand tuned.